this rather blustery weekend in Wales and throughout the UK. I do hope my UK friends are safe. It's not been the same for everybody throughout the UK today. Some people have had it worse than others. So wherever you are, yes, please be staying safe. And I know throughout the world as well, there's been some blustery weather too. So localised flooding and things like that. So be careful, everybody out there. Right, hello, it's Friday. Woo! So we're just gonna kick off, you know, kick back, not kick off, kick back. Please don't kick off. Kick back, relax, do some stamping together. And Fridays, I'm trying to focus on presenting simple ideas for beginner stampers and also inspire those of you who've been doing it a while. And I'm going to be focusing in on Dahlia Days, which is a fabulous stamp set. You've probably might be a bit sick of me saying this now, that this is such a great beginner stamp set, and also possibly using some of the dies a little bit later on to make, the challenge is to make 10 cards. I'm not leaving this desk until 10 cards are made. So, you know, it could be a long one tonight, guys, so you better go make your cups of tea. Go and invite your friends out. So I'm just cleaning my glasses if you can hear me hawing in the background. Yeah, go and grab your cups of tea. I'll still be here. You know, that's if the electricity doesn't go out. So yeah, chill out, relax, get your favourite slippers on, and let's see what we're going to do tonight. So I'm just going to get my video up and running so I can see your lovely comments. Please be kind to each other, make friends, say hi, tell us where you're from. It's always great to have your company. Hi Shaz, Vicky, Martina, Valerie, Anne, Bonnie, Jackie, Kay, Carolee, Susan and Margaret and Bev and Darlene and Barb, Peggy Love. Oh, what a cool name, Peggy Love. I like your icon as well. That's so cool. Hi Annie, Janine, Caroline, Elizabeth, and yes, it's a rainy day as well. Oh, okay. Yeah, fences down around the place. Hi Vicky. Hi Lindy, Susan, Norma, Tina, Caroline. Lovely. Right, let's get started. So this is a little bit of a throwback to a video I did. Oh, I did actually have it in front of me when I, hold on, I'll find it again. The last time I did a video a bit like this was over a year ago, when I think yeah, Beautiful Friendship was around. So let's see if I've got the, is there a date for this one? Let me just have a look and see. Anyway, I made about 9 different card fronts. So, gosh, to end of 2019. Oh. Yes, so over 2 years ago, I did a video similar to this. Right. So let's get started. Sorry, I'm all lost now what I'm doing. Just grabbing you guys back up so I can see what's happening. Okay, I've grabbed out these colours: Coastal Cabana, Poppy Parade, Flirty Flamingo, Daffodil Delight and Granny Apple Green. Just thought they'd be fun and bright and zingy. So we're going to start simply with how to do a super quick card. You know, this is kind of a really great one for, you might be in a bit of a hurry and you haven't really got a lot of time to put it together, and you want to just, you know, get it stamped. So I'm going to do a simple little stamp with maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 different stamps, not too many. Grab that one out as well. Have that one ready. And oh yeah, this one's a useful one, this little diddy one. So let's get started. So one of the reasons I say this is a really good beginner stamp set is because it's got such a variety of different sizes, and that is something that I tend to look for when you know, looking at stamps. So just checking comments if I need to respond to anything. No. Okay, right, so we're going to start really easy. Just going to have 3 flowers in the middle, like so. I'm going to get in here quickly with my sentiment because I want to make sure I have left space for my sentiment. So I'm going to put that there. So this is a replicatable, trying to make sure I say that correctly, replicatable design for most floral stamps, okay, and leaves. So I'm stamping, I've stamped my 3 large flowers there, and now I'm tucking in some leaves, and I'm popping that leaf and I'm pivoting there to make sure that I've got some stamped off. So I've got the bright granny apple green and then got lighter versions. Now here I'm going to be a bit careful because I don't want to kind of encroach onto there, but I thought it might be quite nice just to have a couple popping out there and there. And then I'm going to fill that little bit of a space with some other things in a minute. Right, so we also have this little flower. So actually, I'm wondering whether to keep it kind of simple and go for the Bermuda Bay with this one. Oh, my YouTube's not loading properly. Oh, I've got an advert now. Okay, fine. Hi, Diane. Hi, Katrin. Hi, Bev. Okay, so this is now Bermuda Bay, and I'm just going to pop a couple of little flowers in the centre there, and then have some trailing off down here. So, and then I'm sort of creating the, so I'm creating a line through from the top left to the bottom right there, so that your eye kind of gets drawn down. Pop another one in there, and a little one there. Am I going to be able to do a little one there? There we go, just poking behind. And then I've got my little set of 3 here. I just want to have another little texture. It's all about texture, guys. You know, mixing up the textures and seeing how they look with each other. Oh, I think I've got a little fibre on that one. Okay, I'm going to stop there. And now I want to bring on this little sweet thing. And I'm wondering whether to use a bit of Daffodil Delight for this final little flurry of colour. Just have that in the background there. And because it's yellow, it's not interfering, even though it's going quite close to that bit of Coastal Cabana, it's okay. It's not interfering with it too much, so that you can kind of see exactly what's going on. So there you have it. So that's design number 1. So we've gone for a cluster of flowers in the centre, a little sentiment off to the side. If you felt you wanted to mount that onto another piece of cardstock, that's up to you, but we've got the cluster in the middle and then got some leaves in 3 points coming away from the cluster and then just filling in with the odd little bit of flower. Now that could easily also have some bits of bling on it as well if you wanted to. So I'm just grabbing a background, and I think that can, oh look, I've got some white splatter on there from the other day. I'm going to turn that round. Oops. And I'm just seeing if I can find, I did have my fast glue, what I call the fast glue, you know, the stuff that you, the tape glue, but anyway, I can't find it, so we'll go for the wet glue, the good old Tombow. Get that stuck down so we can say, oh, how long does that take? Under 10 minutes. There we go. And that was, you know, a bit of talking time as well. So to know that you can make a card in under 10 minutes is pretty cool, isn't it? There we go. Right, numero uno, done. Right, so the second one I want to show you is, now where are my bits of card? Oh, there they are. Okay, so I've got that little flower out already. So I'm going to use the same colour again. This time what I'm going to do is do a design in the top right corner and the bottom left corner. And so I'm just going to do a little cluster of flowers there, like so, and a little cluster here, like that. And bring on the coastal. Do I want the coastal? No, I might do the leaves first, actually. Do some wee little leaves with the granny apple. And, oh, now. I do want to try and pull this design up and down. So it's kind of like two L's we're creating here. That's not quite how I wanted it to go. So I'm going to have to add some extra flowers, I think, just to make it do what I want it to do. So I'll pop another little flower in there. And there. One there and there. Put one there and there. Okay, that's all right. And I'm wondering if there's a way I can ink this so I only get a partial section. You know what, I'm going to leave it. I'll figure out another way of elongating that design. Oh, actually, I'm just going to get a stamp. Because, of course, you can't always turn it that way. And then you can put your sentiment in the middle. So let's do that. There we go. Right, now I want a little bit more zhuzh in here. So I think we'll put a little bit of this yellow. Because I love this colour scheme. It's so gentle on the eye and so easy to kind of work with. Such a kind of happy combination, you know, the yellow, the green and the blue, especially this kind of blue. It's so nice. Hi Claire, hi Kelly, hi Ivy. Okay, now I want to bring in some of these little blue flowers, just to, these are almost like large dottage. So I'm just pulling that design out through. I don't actually want them to join. I'm desperately trying not to let them join up, because that wasn't the idea with this design. But sometimes designs kind of like run away with you, you know. That's okay. Right, so that's number 2 finished. Oh, I need to cut a little bit around the edge of this. I've obviously cut my cardstock to the wrong size. Right, there we go, that's better. I wanted a little border going all the way around. So some of you know that I'm quite into musicals, and yesterday I introduced my daughter to West Side Story. And I hadn't seen West Side Story for quite a long time. The original version, that is. I know that they've come out with a new version. And I'd kind of held off from rewatching it because I remember feeling very emotional the first time I watched it, and I think I didn't want to put myself through it again. But anyway, I've been recently reminded of the music of it, and I thought, oh, I really would like to watch it. Anyway, my daughter was asking to watch it, so we did. That was our educational activity yesterday afternoon. And yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it. But what was really funny was that I did warn her prior and said, you do know that this is kind of based on the story of Romeo and Juliet, don't you? And she was like, oh, she goes, so do they all die in the end? I was like, you know, yeah, kind of, because, you know, it's the way it is, isn't it? Romeo and Juliet. They, quite a few die in Romeo and Juliet. So, there's this song in the middle of the film. So sorry, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it yet. I'm just going to cut these down because I've just realised they are the wrong size. So it saves me having to cut them in a second. Yeah, there's a song where the two, you know, star-crossed lovers, the main protagonists, are singing together, talking about their love for each other and how only death will part them. And so my daughter, and this is how much I'm so proud of the education she's getting, particularly through my sister is doing English work with her quite often. And she went, oh no, she said, foreshadowing. She knew exactly what was going to happen. So I thought that was quite funny. So she's understanding story structure and dramatic irony and all that sort of stuff, which is really quite fun. And I'm kind of secretly pleased as well, because when I was her age, I loved musicals, and I'm kind of just trying to indoctrinate her, basically, so that I can sit and watch musicals with her. So there we go. Although at the beginning of West Side Story, there is, I mean, everyone sings and dances and stuff, and she was a bit kind of, oh, why are they all singing and dancing all the time? And I sort of said to her, well, it's to do with characterization. I said, the way you've got to see it is that when the characters are singing and dancing, that's their way of expressing themselves. So rather than kind of thinking, oh, this is really unrealistic, you've just got to kind of take it and run with it, you know. So there we go. Right, so now what I'm going to do is stamp a background, a paler background, and then stamp something over the top of it to make it create a pattern, basically. So I'm just going to stamp basically flowers next to each other, and it's not super strict. I'm just kind of going for it, really. I'm going to cover this whole piece of paper with this gorgeous dahlia here, and I might see a few petals there. Right, there we go. So that's covered very nicely, and I'm wondering whether that's just to pop in a few extra bits of yellow, because I don't really want so much of that white showing, so I'm just adding a few little extra sprigs. There we go. And you know, it's your card, you don't have to be strict about it, it doesn't have to be exact. You know, it just looks like a whole load of flowers have fallen down, and there we go. Right, so that's the yellow one, that's the background. I can accept it when opera burst out singing, but it felt really weird watching them singing, dancing in the streets. Oh, fair enough. Hi, Glenna. Just one of them is Shaz. Yeah. Okay, just going to leave that just for a moment to kind of dry out while I think about the next stage. So what I want to do now is just some small little repeat designs on top of this. So I'm wondering whether to go with Coast or Cabana for, oh no, let's do something different. Let's do a bit of Flirty Flamingo. Let's change this up a little bit. So I'm going to cover this. Hi Louise. Yes, yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean, Ivy, because when I started watching it, I'd kind of forgotten all this kind of singing and dancing. But if you kind of just take it as it is and see it as a representation, because you know you've got your two different sets of people, haven't you? You've got the sharks and the jets. Is that right? Have I got that right? Sharks and jets. And I just enjoyed the dancing as kind of, yeah, like I said, a representation of those different types of characters. And so I quite enjoyed looking at the different you know, styles of dancing, what they were representing, because of course, you know, one side is like the Puerto Ricans, and you know, and yeah, and just enjoyed that aspect of it, and kind of trying to read the language of the dancing rather than just worrying about the fact that people were just breaking out dancing everywhere. Okay, when you do this type of pattern, you have to kind of sometimes imagine, right, so if I repeat this pattern up here, where's this one going to fall? And so if I pop that there, it kind of helps you go, oh yeah, so that's why Ruth's not actually stamping one there, because there wouldn't be one there. Now here though, I think you might just catch the edge of that there, and that's going to be it. Right, that's that done. Now if there had been a smaller leaf, I think I would have liked to have seen that, but there isn't one. However, I did do a bit of stamp surgery on this stamp here. So this is a label, and it has this one attached to it, and I've done a bit of stamp surgery because it's actually quite easy to cut those two apart without damaging the stamp. So I have done that already, and I'm wondering if I could stamp that on top of that. If I ink that up in red and then remove that central one, should we try it? You know, let's try it. Hello, Miss Janice. Nice to see you. Hi, Kathy. Okay, I'm going to get my dauber, my red dauber, and I'm just going to remove that flower there and then pop that over the top. Oh, I don't have to remove as much. Let's try that again. Let's just do that this time. Not so ferocious removal. Okay, maybe a little bit more removal this time. Okay. Try that. It's all a big experiment, to be honest, guys. Oh, missed it slightly, but oh well. You know what? I'm going to start again because I've just realised, like, if I stamp that in lighter, if I do that in the Flirty Flamingo and then the big one in the red, that would be better, wouldn't it? So let's just very quickly do that all again. I'm sure you can all talk amongst yourselves when I do this bit again. Oop. There we go. Just trying to fill in some of those gaps now. Okay, let's start that again. See, sometimes ideas develop as you're trying one idea out. You go, oh, what if I do that, and what if I do this? So, oh, really, Elizabeth? Oops. Oh, there we go, Martina. Right, so let's pop one there. 1, 2, 3. I'll put one in between. There. That one there. Put that there. I think you probably would see just the top of these ones here, wouldn't you? So. Okay, that's a better idea, Ruth. Thank you, Vicky. What's Martina say? Oh, yeah. Right, so let's get the red and stamp. Oh, that's better. Okay, so with this sort of pattern, I would just personally, I sometimes really love it when you've got a design that's got a pattern all the way across it, and it's just lovely on its own. I don't think it needs much more than this, apart from maybe just a really simple sentiment somewhere and just let the paper sing, really. Let it do its thing. So I'm just going to grab a bit of red cardstock, pop that on there, and there you have it. So that's number 3. Sorry, it took I got there in the end. It just took me a minute to kind of figure out what I was doing. And of course, there's always 2 sides to a piece of paper. So we can start again. So there we go. I really shouldn't look up at comments when I'm trying to stick stuff down, because it's likely to end in disaster with fingers in glue and things. So I shouldn't do that. Right. Okay. Right. I'm just looking. I have got a little crib sheet down here. What I'm going to do. Right. Then I had another idea with the all over design. This time, I'll do yellow again. Oh, I may as well do yellow again, seeing as it's out. Okay, so this time the idea is to do a central design with some smaller flowers. So, try to keep these quite tight. Oh, oh dear, I got a little bit of Coastal Cabana on the edge of that. I'm just going to swipe that off before I get more of that on my stamp. Well, it's really nice just to have this kind of texture in the background. Yeah, see, look, I've got a bit of Coastal Cabana on there. Never mind. I shall live. Right, so just having a think. I think I just want a little bit of pink there, like so. Okay. Then, oh, might go for a bright pink flower, and this time I'm going to get my dauber and add colour. So I've got my red dauber. I'm going to add red to the central part of that flower before stamping it down. Look, you can see that lovely effect there. Then I'm going to get my little red flower, start adding some wee little flowers to this design. Okay, now I'm trying desperately not to make it look too symmetrical, so I did 2 there, 3 there, and oh, I might just do a 1 there. Right, and then we need to add some green. This hopefully is then going to breathe a whole new life into this now. So right, so I'm gonna get my little green leaf. I'm just going to ink the actual leaf part. I don't need the stem necessarily there too much. Let's stamp that there and there. Put a leaf there. This is looking very Asian inspired, isn't it? I think it's that it looks a bit like a chrysanthemum, doesn't it? Oh, that's so pretty. I like that. Oh dear, Reet. Oh no. Have you got some new medication or something? Needs a big dotage. I know I would do dotage, Glenna, but I'm being really good. I'm not using any other stamp set tonight.
Okay, so that's that for that. Then I'm going to bring on these three flowers in my dotage tonight, Glenna. Excuse me. I'm just going to take a swig of water. I feel like I just need a little bit more definition around that dahlia, but never mind. I perhaps should have put the ink, the dark red, around the edges of it, not just in the middle. But anyway, what I could do is actually just put a strip of cardstock through the middle and stamp the sentiment maybe on the strip of cardstock with, ooh, actually I wonder if white cardstock might look better. See if I can stamp the sentiment onto this piece here. I often have little strips left over from when I've cut card, so let's see if I can get this on here. Oh, that's as perfect as it's going to be. There we go. It doesn't matter so much now about the flower behind it because we've got that. Although I am wondering whether just to surround that little bit of white with a tiny strip of green. Oh yeah, let's do that. Oh, okay, that makes sense, really. Yeah. At least I figured out what it was. Oh, I was looking at the wrong number then. It's 5.5, not 6.5. Oh, thanks, Shaz. Are you talking about the card? Oh, sweet of you. Well, I've composed it and you can just copy it now. I guess in one sense it's been 40 years in the making. Over 40 years in the making. So I'm just trying to get this so that I cut it correctly. There we go. Right. Now I'm thinking a nice green base. So I'm just going to cut myself a nice green base from this Granny Apple Green. Such a fun colour. Oh, I've managed to get ink on it. Oops. forgotten which way around it goes now. Oh, it goes that way. Hi, Heidi. Well, this is card number 4. I've got 6 to go, so don't go anywhere. There we go. Ooh, stay. Stay. Right. Now it's number 4. All right, I'm just looking at my crib sheet for what I need to do next. Okay, so the other idea is to stamp. Again, I think I might just need to trim these down because these aren't quite right. Oh, you've got this one, have you? Oh, brilliant, Glenna. You will love it. You will not regret getting this one. Alrighty, so this time I'm going to do the design where I focus on the edge. So let's go crazy, hey, and do a red dahlia. There we go. Nice and bright. Oh, you don't have a granny apple green, Annie. I don't think we can be friends. How can you not have granny apple green? No. I am sure you will make amends very soon, Annie. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with a bit of Coastal Cabana for these leaves, because I am going to go in with Granny Apple Green afterwards, but just want to get a few coastals in. It's a bit of a... Oh, didn't stamp that too good. Never mind. Right, let's do that. Okay. Now this is very Asian looking, actually. I am kind of tempted to keep it in this colour scheme. And bring in real red. What do you think, guys? Shall I keep it more Asian? Right, I'm going to grab out the other flower because I haven't been using this one up to now. See, I'm wondering whether to do this in real red. Right, I'm going to cover up my boo-boo that I did there. Okay. So, hold on. Was that coastal or was that Bermuda? Okay, that's Bermuda. Right, I'll use that one now. Okay, I like that. Oh, now I'm wondering whether to step up the red and go cherry cobbler now. And do these tiny ones in cherry cobbler. Oh no, really, I'm basically doing lots of different card fronts. So with the same stamp set, so you can jump in whenever you want, really. So no, stick around. Stick around. Ooh, now that sort of sounds like rain, but it also sounds like little hailstones. Yep, that definitely sounds like hailstones to me. Or just very hard rain. Apparently it could snow. Right, so with a design like this, you've got various options. You could go down the route of having it just on, you know, coming the side, or you could have it going up, or you could have it coming down. It's up to you. And then obviously those of you who are used to seeing me stamping whole sheets, I am going to do that. I'm going to do one of those in a second. But if you wanted to create 4 of this, I would say it's probably easier just to stamp a whole sheet and then cut it into 4. But I just wanted to show you that if you didn't have time to do that and you just literally just wanted to stamp one card, you can do it very easily. So that was with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colours. So 3 reds and the 2 blues, which is quite sweet. Okay, so that was design number 5, I believe. And I'm not putting a sentiment on this one because I don't know who I'm going to be sending it to just yet. So, who had 5 inches of snow? Jan had 5 inches and now sunshine. There we go. Crazy. It's pretty. Yes, it would make a very nice invitation planner. Yeah. Yeah, it would. We didn't get as heavy a wind, as fast a wind as some places did, Kelly. Yeah, we've done pretty good actually. Yeah, we've done all right, but apparently there's more storminess to come. It's kind of blown over towards France a bit more, and Germany, the top of Germany, and I'm trying to figure out what country that is. Yeah, oh dear, I'm rubbish on geography. But anyway, the worst seems to have passed the UK now, and it's moving more over to mainland Europe. So yeah, please be careful, my European friends. The texture embossing folder would be good, and the subtle folder. Yes, that would be nice. Yeah, I've got 5 more cards to make. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so that was one of them. Oh, right, I know what I haven't done. So sometimes, if you know that you're going to be having a sentiment on a piece of card that's going to go on some sort of label, it's sometimes useful to have an idea of where that's going to go so that you can stamp sort of coming from it. So I'm just going to revisit an old design. Well, not an old design, it's a very sort of traditional design, the good old L shape that I've done numerous times, I think, with you guys. I'm just going to pop this out. So if you imagine that's kind of like the corner of your L. should I cut that out with? A 1 1/4. Just going to grab my 1 3/8. I'm sorry, these punches have retired, but they're such great little punches. Okay, so that's your kind of your focal point, really. So once you kind of know what's happening with that, it kind of makes it easier then to do your design. So what I want to do is go up and slightly to the side and maybe do something here. So if we start off doing that with Coastal Cabana in, again, I'm going to just do that leaf. Yes, I'm wondering that, Reet. Yeah. Yeah. There's an app I'm looking at, but it doesn't have the names of the countries. It just has the country shape. And it shows you where the wind is going. And my geography is not so good. Okay. So that's my little L developing. Now, another funny thing you can do is use your sentiments to help define your shape. So we're going to do that as well. Joanna's had a bit of roof damage. Oh no. Hi, Vanessa. Okay, there we go. So that's just helped create a little bit more definition there. Just going to come on and do a bit more texture. But I don't want to interfere too much with the sentiments. Sorry, I start a sentence and then it takes me a while to get it all out because I'm thinking and doing and trying to speak all at the same time. Okay, there we go. I quite like this. This is very just with the simple colours, not going crazy with the colour. This is very monochromatic, so I think I'm going to keep it monochromatic so that you can see the versatility of this stamp set. Let's pop a few more flowers. And I think I'm going to leave it there for this one. We didn't see flying pigs, but a flying lounge set and table. Oh dear. Yes, I've seen some really, catastrophic photos today. Sadly, there's been some fatal situations. One lady, sadly, near where I used to live in London, lost her life today. Very tragic. Right. Oh dear, Vanessa. Gosh. Vicky, I will take photographs of all of these and I'll do a blog post. Don't you worry. And then I'll pin them to Pinterest. So if anyone does use Pinterest, I do have a Pinterest account where I try and post and link all the different projects that I do. Please feel free to pin this to Pinterest. I really would appreciate it. I prefer it when people don't take screenshots and pin it to Pinterest, because then if someone does like the photograph, they don't know where to find the tutorial. So if you are going to pin, it's more helpful to do it from either a blog or a YouTube video. So you just click the share button, the arrow with the kind of point on it. If you click that or tap on it, then it will give you options where to share, and Pinterest is one of those places that you can do that. Right, so let's do a count. So for those of you who've come on a little bit later, let me just review. So the first one was this one, using the dahlia. We did the 3 flowers and then a little bit of a bouquet really. And this one where we went top and bottom and did just L's in the corners there. Then one where we stamped all over and then did pattern. And then this one where we stamped all over and then did a central design with the sentiment. Then this one where we've just come in from the edge, however way you want to do it. And then this one where we've just done the singular L. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so what I wanted to do was now do a whole sheet of stamping and cut it up in a way to get at least 4 cards, if not more, from it. So I'm going to grab myself a big whole sheet of paper. So this is the UK size A4, or for you guys who use the letter size, the 8.5 by 11, that's perfectly fine too. Right, so I'm going to use what's already on my desk. I don't want to start adding more to this. So, ooh, yummy, yummy, yummy. I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start with real red this time, though it does need a little bit of a re-ink. Just see if I've got real red. Hi, darling. Where is Manchester in relation to me? It's about 2 hours away. Yeah, it's to my north. Zoom out a little. Okay, Anne. Bear with. Sorry, this is not very interesting doing re-inking, but I know there are some of you who've not done re-inking, so I do like to show it every so often. Okay, and then what I do is I get a block. Oh, felt a bit sticky. Oh, I've got a bit of glue on there. Don't do it with glue on. And then what I do is I smoosh that ink into the ink pad, and then I turn it, smoosh a bit more, and then just give my block a little wipe. Re-inking intimidates me. Oh, well, it's worth doing because then you have a nice vibrant colour to work with. I guess it depends how often you're using your ink pads. So, yeah. Who else is on here that I haven't said hello to? Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. That's kind of you. So I'm just giving these a wee bit of a clean while I can. Right. Zoom out a little. There we go. Is that okay? Right. Let's get stamping. Right, I'm just having a wee think. This is the sort of template I want to cut in a second, so I'm just having a wee think what I want to do. Okay. I've inspired you to do a small background. Ah, what do you mean on a smaller piece of cardstock, Kim? Oh, Martina's walls are very thick. It's an old building. Yeah. Okay, right, I'm not actually, I didn't have a massive plan, so I'm kind of going with my gut on this one. So I'm sorry I'm not explaining as I go. It's because I've just not done something like this before. So I'm just kind of figuring it out as I go along. Hi, Nina. So I'm just using this to pop a little bit of extra brightness in. And it's, although it does have a very pretty pattern on it, I'm not really that bothered about what the pattern is. It's just to get some extra texture in there. And then I'm going to go back in and do more foliage in a second. So sometimes stamps can be used just to put in a bit of background colour. Not necessarily, don't overthink sometimes. Oh, and some colour in the centres, because I just want a bit of brightness in here as well. So, there you go. Right. Yeah, that's a good idea, Joanna. Yeah, when nearer to Easter, I do tend to do things that are a little bit more Easter themed. Okay, now I'm going to go bold. I'm going to mix up the Bermuda Bay and Coastal Cabana into this design now. So, which this is going to contain all the colours I think that I've used tonight. So let's get some of this blue in here. What's this one? Bermuda Bay. Okay, so sometimes I talk about that moment where you stamp something, you go, oh, not sure I've done that right. Okay, I'm having one of those moments right now. But as I often say on this channel, I'm just going to keep stamping because I know this is not the end of the process. This is like the middle of the process. So sometimes in the middle of a process, you can feel like, oh my goodness, what have I done? What have I taken on here? And actually the trick is just to keep going. You know what, we can apply it to life, you know, starting a new venture, I don't know, starting some education, a house renovation, whatever. There's a point in the project where you go, oh my goodness, what have I done? And it just looks worse. You know, tidying a room, it can look worse to start off with, but keep going. It's trust the process and you will get there eventually. So just letting you know, because I think people sometimes watch my channel and think, oh, Ruth must have it all planned out and she knows exactly what she's doing. I don't always know. I really don't. And I have as much kind of, you know, trepidation sometimes as you guys. So, but the difference is I've learned to trust the process. So I keep going because I know it will be okay. Okay, so adding this nice bit of green in now. Do you recommend watching your videos from the start of your YouTube journey? Oh, okay, that's a good question. That's a good question, Shaz. I'll come back to that. Okay, so I'll answer Shaz's question first. When to re-ink versus buy a new ink pad. Okay, so I think I have mentioned this before, and but I'll mention it again. That the reason why some of the Stampin' Up! Ink pads, not all of them, are prone to a little bit of what's called crystallization is it's a chemical thing. It's to do with the carrier for the pigment. Now there is somebody called Sarah Levin who's done a very, very helpful article on this to explain, like, your ink pads are not broken, there's nothing wrong with them, it's just a chemical reaction that happens, and it's quite prevalent. Sorry, it's more prevalent with certain colours over other colours. So, for example, pumpkin pie. No, is pumpkin pie one of them? No, Mango Melody. Mango Melody, Mossy Meadow. Occasionally the reds. It's become a bit of an issue. So, the recommendation that she has given. So, if I just show you what happens. Around the edges, it starts to go a bit weird. Now it's perfectly fine. I mean, I've never washed this out. I still use it. I just re-ink it. But if it gets to the point where it's not taking in the re-inker anymore because of this, you can just wash them out completely and then re-ink from the start, and apparently, you know, they're good to go again. So it all depends if you can be bothered to do that, or if you'd rather just pay some money out and get a new one. But then I would say, you know, it's a shame to waste that bit of plastic. You know, it's a perfectly fine, you know, ink pad. So it doesn't happen with all of them. It's just some of them. And that's what's been happening. So that's why people are asking the question, is it worth getting a new ink pad over just re-inking? Okay, so the other question was to do with, should you watch my videos from the beginning? I don't feel I can answer that one, really. I would ask people who've been following me a long time. So I'm trying to think Vicky's followed me for about 5 years, 6 years, I think. Yeah, I guess it depends what techniques of mine you particularly like watching. So One Sheet Wonders was kind of in development stages. Sorry, Stamped One Sheet Wonders was in development stages for the last 5 years. So I started doing videos every Wednesdays called One Sheet Wonder Wednesdays. And that kind of got me looking at the idea of stamping on a whole sheet and then cutting it up. And then there were key kind of pivotal moments in my stamping life where I just had these kind of flashes of inspiration, where I maybe saw something and it really inspired me, and I tried to interpret it using stamps. And I could probably, actually, it would be really interesting for me to do a playlist or do a blog post with my kind of journey and maybe document it and say, oh my goodness, you know, this particular video helped me learn this. This video was when I started doing wreaths. So before I started doing 12 by 12 wreaths, I did a wreath on just on a piece of cardstock this shape, and then I thought, oh, why don't I do it on 12 by 12? Okay, so there's just been these sort of moments that have just happened, creative moments, that have just been very interesting. And it would be interesting for you to go back perhaps and have a look at those and see where, you know, they've come from. But no, I don't think I would recommend that you just go back, because I've done some shocking videos. I mean, there's some videos that I'm really not quite very proud of at all. They're just not very inspirational, in my opinion. So, you know, I mean, some people like going through the back catalogue, but when they're bored, need a bit of sleep. Yeah. Hi, Sherlock. Oh, good night, Christine. Sleep well. Sorry, so what's Vicky said? Just wondering if you give info more in the beginning. What, at the beginning of the video? Is that what you mean, Kim? What do you mean info? I mean, sometimes I just forget to tell. I do try and remember to tell you what ink pads and things I've done. And then in the description, I always try and update the description with all the colours. And if I haven't, I'm really not offended if you just message me, if you leave a comment on the video and you like, Ruth, you didn't list your, you know, what you used. I'm not, you know, I won't be offended. Please just do it and I'll update it. Hi, Louise Tubb. Welcome. Yeah, so some videos are better than others in terms of me actually explaining the process, and that comes down to what mood I'm in, how tired I might be doing, because I've been doing lives pretty much every weekday for the last 2.5 years now. So as you can imagine, there are some days that I just don't feel very chatty, or you know, there's you know, stuff going on in my life that, you know, affects my mood or whatever, you know. So some days I'm more conscientious than others. So it's not like you're getting a video where it's all slick and planned out and, you know, I've got a script and I've rehearsed it and you know, it's just raw, you know. And initially I didn't think anyone would be interested in that kind of videos, because I would watch other people's videos and see these really slickly edited, you know, 10-minute things, and the impression I got was, you know, people are time poor, they haven't got time to sit and watch a long video. So I focus more on making shorter videos. But then something just happened and I started doing more lives and realized actually people can always fast forward if they don't, you know, if they're watching later on, you know, and the people who are interested will just watch it. So what, it's not for me to judge, oh, this is interesting, this is not interesting, when people are telling me that they are interested. So that's why I've decided to do more lives, and I try and stick to about an hour. I mean, in the early days I would sometimes go on for more than that. Yeah. Yes, I do classes, Kim. So please email me, ruthtrice@gmail.com, and I will chat to you about that. Okay, I've just got a couple more little bits I want to add in here. I want to do some more frothy green, and I think I want to just add a little bit of pink or red. Oh, actually, I haven't used that one yet, have I? I might do that in the red. Oh, thank you, Christine Drew. Congratulations on coming to your first live. Great to have you here. Hi, Brenton. Do I have a strategy for choosing your stamps? Not always. Sometimes I just go with what I like, and then sometimes I think, oh, I haven't used that stamp set and I know people will want to see me use it. So hence yesterday's videos where I really challenged myself to use stamps that I wouldn't normally use. Sometimes it's the stamps that inspire me, and then sometimes it's I've seen something and I've seen some inspiration, and then I'm picking stamps to match what it is that I want to achieve. So it varies. It varies, yeah. Hi, Carla. You've been watching the replays, Christine Drew. Oh, and where are you from? Roughly in the world. Oh, yes. Yeah, that's a good point. Martina's found it sometimes easier to actually watch me on a faster speed, because then it's easier to see where I'm clustering things. So there are some videos that I've done. If you search in my channel for fast videos, it's ones that I've downloaded and then done a sped up version. And although some people find them really annoying, like Martina says, sometimes it's actually better to watch them faster, because then you get an idea of how the picture has developed. Baltimore, Maryland. Ah, cool. Good morning. All together. Baltimore. That's funny. Read. Okay, I'm going to stop there because I've got to get these other cards done. I want to hit my target of 10. So I did take a note of how I wanted to cut this. Okay, yeah, I wrote a little, I drew a little sketch out earlier, but I've kind of gone a bit off piste, so I'm not sure if it's going to work. Right, so what I'm planning to do, I'll bring this back here. This is a little template that I've created. This is just with some vellum, and I've just drawn Sharpie over it. And if you're wanting to make this template, it's super easy to do. All you do is you fold your vellum in half, draw, fold your vellum in half again, draw, and then fold your vellum to the halfway point and draw again. It's really that easy. So the benefit of doing this means that you can kind of have a look at what you've stamped and decide how you want to cut it up. So I had decided what I wanted to do was have one card from that, so that's one. Then I'm going to cut here, so in effect I'm going to move this section here and cut down here. Then have one section to be a slimline card, and then this one I was going to cut here, but cut at that point and then swap them. All right, don't know why Or I might do something else with that. I'm trying to think if I could do some sort of gatefold or something with it. Anyway, let's cut this up and then decide what we're going to do. So I'm going to cut that in half. Put that there for a sec. Okay, so that's number one. Actually, I'm wondering whether that would be better on green. Oh, that's sweet, Martina. Oh, I didn't realise you'd lurked, Heidi. Oh dear. Okay, so I wanted then to use this one, cut this one in half. Where are we at with this one? 14 point something. So I don't know, I'll cut that at 7. And then I wanted to mount that onto a piece of red cardstock. And then, oh, actually, no, red is too, doesn't look right, does it? A bit of blue. Oh, congratulations, Heidi. Cool. Right, so I'm just putting a little border on this because I actually wanted to mount this onto a white card base. I just thought it was going to be so colourful that it didn't need. There we go. See, that's pretty, isn't it? So that's that one. I've got this section left over. Now this could be mounted. Sorry, just having a wee think. I wonder if I cut that off. Or do it as a Z fold. Yeah, I might do that as a Z fold. So I'm just going to cut this down so it's easier to score. I'm going to cut this down to 14. So this is a pre-cut base that I did a while ago. I have a whole stash of them ready to go. And I'm just going to score that at 7. And then flip that back. And then I'm going to stick that on there. So let's cut that to fit. Oh, that doesn't really show up, so I might have to do a double border. Oh, that's fun. Oh, so exciting, double borders. Okay, let's see. How much do I need to do? What's that measure? Oh, that's 7.5 by... I'll do this 7.5 by 9.5. So I'll cut this down to 7 by 9. Actually, you see, when I'm deciding what bit to cut off, sometimes I really love where it sort of tailors off, you know, it kind of goes off, and I don't want to actually cut into that. I like the fact it goes almost to nothing. So I'm just going to decide to do it this way. Right, double check, just double checking. 9.5, right, 9. So I'm just cutting off 0.5 centimetre for me to create that border. There we go. Right, let's get these stuck down while they're fresh in my head. Sorry about this. Talk amongst yourselves while I... Oh no, Periscope doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately, Linda. Yeah. Oh, I was going to cut a piece from that, wasn't I? No, it doesn't exist anymore, sadly. But that's where a lot of us met. Well, I say a lot of us, sorry. I have friends that I've got to know through Periscope, who I'm still friends with today. It changed my life in a way, really. Yeah, so Vicky Allenson. It's one of those people. And I, you know, I've been trying to, you know, defriend her for years, but she just keeps coming back. She just keeps, you know, hanging about and wants to hang out with me. You know, I've tried to get rid of her, but she just won't go. Love you, Vicky. Yeah, I'm afraid Vicky's stuck with me for life now, aren't you, Vicky? Now, I was just thinking, you could stamp on here as well. Of course you could, but for the sake of this video, I'm just hurrying along and getting these done for you. And she giggled. Oh, no, move up a bit. Oh, no. Oh, too late. I just wanted to move it up a smidge, but anyway, no, it's too late. Right, so that's a Z fold. Let's stick this together. Just laughing at Bev's comment. Well, it's quite... there's this sort of discussion in my house about maths because my husband studied maths at university. And I would say all my kids have kind of been pretty good at maths, even if they don't want to be. And I did okay, you know, when I studied. I did okay in my maths. I probably just didn't apply myself hard enough. I could have applied myself a bit more and I would have got a higher grade, but I just didn't. But apparently I read somewhere, some article somewhere, that maths ability is passed down through the mother, not the father, apparently. So occasionally I'll remind my husband of that. Okay, so I want to do a narrow card now. And again, I think I might just go with a white card base because I don't feel like it needs to be too detailed. Oh, and I'm going to change my mind about the second one. Okay, what I'm going to do is do what I call a thick slim line. So I'm going to score at 10, which is about 4 inches. Inches, 10 centimeters. There's you all going on about how good I am at maths and I just said the wrong thing. Okay, so I just think that this pattern is so pretty, I don't actually want to get rid of too much of that. So I'm going to do that to 9.5. And cut off 0.5 centimetre. Oh, now I did intend to show you the dies, but unfortunately I've just not had time to do that. I've been busy doing this. Right, I feel like a bit of nice red ribbon to go through the middle of here. Ooh, I'm down to my last bit. Yeah, so these colours are mainly from the brights, apart from I've just added real red and cherry cobbler to a couple of these. Oh, come on, scoot over. So I'm just reliving Monday's moment. Those of you who saw Monday's video will know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen Monday's video, go and watch it. Oh dear. Yeah, I don't like to call people hobby demos. I call them happy shoppers. Because that's what you are. Okay, so I'm just using my tweezers to to make these look a little bit more 3D. Now this card is going to be over the top, more is more card. Oh, look at that, I'm already at an hour and a half. I told you that I'd be here until this got done, didn't I? I did say. I did warn you. Fortunately, not a lot of you are complaining, so that's good. Right, this is going to turn into a more is more. Even to the point where I'm going to be adding ink to these because I don't want them to look so flat. Yay, Claire! Awesome. How many have you got coming? So proud of you, girl. You know what? While I'm faffing around here, I'm going to plug in my hot glue gun. Because in a few minutes, it's going to make my life so much easier. Take care, Kim. Nice to see you. Where's the strawberry punch? I was using it yesterday. Oh, there it is. Just one little flower. Okay, can't resist again. I've got to add a bit of colour to that little flower, because I think when you've got such detailing everywhere else, you can't then go and just stuff a flower on there without actually properly finishing it. And I'm just adding a bit of this Bermuda Bay to the tips. See, this is what takes a card from being a card to a da, da, da. It's a card for your birthday. You know, that kind of card. You know, you can get a kind of a card. You know, that's nice. That's lovely. Thank you very much. You know, clearly see that you spent time on it, but you know, if you get a card like this, it's like you really spent time on it. You know, that kind of card. For those special people. You know what I mean? You know, the ones that you know that are just not going to throw it in the bin straight away, that might have it on their mantelpiece for a few months. You know, those kind of people. You know? I get such a kick out of, I have a very long-standing friend of mine, girlfriend of mine, but I'm not into sort of saying things like, oh, I've got a best mate, I have best friends. I have several best friends from different times in my life. But yes, I would count her as one of my best friends. Yeah, so she really appreciates the cards that I sent her, and I'm very careful what I sent her, because I kind of know what she likes. And there's something so lovely about going to her house and seeing she uses her cards in her home decor. Like, she's really good at interior design and making her house look lovely. And she will often like choose the colours in the card to match, you know, the room. And there's something really nice about that. Okay, so those are my little leaves. I know that I'm doing that. So let's start assembling. My hot glue gun should be ready. Just need a little bit. Ooh, not that much. But anyway, got to go with it now. I should have tested that before I squirted. Right, put that for a second. Right, put these leaves on. So of course you can use wet glue, you can use a Tombow, but when I do sort of use a lot of flowers, I just sometimes find it's so much easier just to use my hot glue gun, because it's such a quicker process. So these little twiggy things, I like to actually fold them over the other way, because we get so accustomed to seeing them as they get punched out that I get a bit bored. So I like to see them used in a different way. That'll do. Ooh, it's sticking to everything at the moment. So a slightly bigger blob going on to go on there. I'm just going to hold that for a few seconds and wait for the glue to cool. Okay, we're not waiting for the glue to dry, we're actually waiting for it to cool. which is a completely different process than using wet glue. So, quite like that. I'm wondering whether to add a little bit of fuzz to it, a bit of zhuzh, or whether to leave it as it is. I might just put a few gems in there though. Oh, I can use my favourite blue ones. They carried these over, didn't they? Was that not the right blue? Oh. Well, I suppose I could put it on there and then repeat the blue in other places, couldn't I? Where's my take your pick tool? Where's it gone? Ooh. There. Okay, right. Let me get rid of this hot tool, hot glue gun. It's precariously balancing over here. Right, there we go. Right, so let's stick this down on my card base, which I nearly creased, but not quite. You have a cool temp one and a hot temp one. I've never understood how the cool temp one works, because it must have some kind of heat to melt the glue. But I'm guessing it just melts at a cooler temperature. That's what it is. It's still warm. Unless it uses some other type of technology to melt the glue. Oh yes, the other Heidi might be sleeping. She may be. Yep, she's definitely not on. Right, just want to bring that loop round, because I like seeing that loop there. There we go. Right, so that's one more done. Right, and I've just got to finish off using this strip here. Trying to decide what to do with it. Oh, I should get a bit of ink on that one. Right, I think I want a blue strip going through there. Oh, this is ridiculous. I've got 4 punches, umpteen ink pads. Let me just clear some space. Okay, stick that there. Don't need that. Don't need you. Right. Okay, so I need to cut this at 20 centimetres. Or should I do it a bit longer? No, I might do it 21. But I'm going to cut a bit off that end because that bit's a little bit creased. So I'm just going to do that 21. 21. Okay, I need a card base. Oh, should we go a bit of coastal? And actually, I can make this one a thicker. I could do a thin slim line, or I could do a thicker slim line. I'm going to do a thicker one because I've got that piece of white to decorate. So let's see how big. Yeah, that'll be fine. So do that at 10. So I'm scoring that at 10. Oh, that would be nice. There are 90 people watching. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it'd be lovely if you could get the thumbs up a little bit higher. Thank you. Much appreciated. Okay, so will that fit? Oh, beautiful. Fits beautifully. Right, I only need to take a smidgen, an absolute smidgen off the end here. Right. Okay, that'll do. And that just needs to have a little smidge taken off the edge there. Have I done that correctly? I'm just eyeballing this. I'm really not paying much attention to the measurements. Oh, that was close. Yeah, that's okay. Now, is this too small now? Nope, that's great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually split this in half. Go away. I don't need you. Right, now this is going to take some careful gluing, but I want to put an edge onto this one here. Now my glue's decided to get clogged. Great. Okay, so I'm just doing a fine line there. Just going to add that to there. Then I'm going to turn it over so I can see what I'm doing. She wanted a thinner line. By the end of the session, I have like so many gooey bits on my fingers that everything just wants to stick to me. Oh dear. Right. So I'm just snipping those little bits off the end because I don't need those. Da, da, da. Off you go. Now this would be nice to emboss, although we don't have a long embossing folder. I wonder if we could do it in sections. Oh, thanks, Bev. Yeah, I actually give myself a thumbs up as well. When I log in on my phone, I'm like, oh, I'll just give myself a little thumbs up there, you know, help the algorithm along. Oh, Martina, she's got long embossing folders. There we go, Martina. I expect you to do that with your cards then when you make yours. So if I had more time and inclination, I would have cut out some bits for using the dies and maybe use those to decorate as well. But I've kind of exhausted the time, I think, now. So I'm not going to dwell on that too much. I will go over the colours that I used and all the different cards that we've made. We've made quite a few tonight. So I'm just going to go backwards. So 10 and 9. Well, it might not be 10 and 9. It might be something else. But anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, this one needs sticking. As I said earlier, not all of these have got sentiments because I don't know what I'm going to use them for just yet. So they're just going to be cards, and then I'll decide later on. Okay, ta-da! To that one, then that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. Okay, I will put a comprehensive list of, I will number all the cards and put all the colours. If they don't go on the description, there will be a link eventually to a blog post about this, because I think this is blog worthy, this one. So right, I'm just taking a drink because I'm going to whiz through everything. So just a reminder, I use Dahlia Days. That is the only stamp set I've used tonight, guys. This is to show you how amazing the stamp set is, and if you haven't got it, please do get it. If you are a beginner stamper, if you're new to stamping and you're wanting to create lots of different cards, this is a fabulous set to get. It's so versatile, and I haven't even used this bit here, and I didn't use all the words either. Okay, but I mainly focused on the flowers. So on this card I used Granny Apple Green, Coastal Cabana, Bermuda Bay and Daffodil Delight, and it is stuck down on a piece of Bermuda Bay cardstock. These are all stamped on basic white, by the way. I'll get that out of the way. So same colour scheme for this one, just a different design. So that's one, that's two. On this card I used Daffodil Delight, Flirty Flamingo and Poppy Parade, and stuck it onto a Poppy Parade piece of cardstock. This one I used Daffodil Delight, Granny Apple Green, Flirty Flamingo and Poppy Parade, and stuck it onto a Granny Apple Green card base. Here I used Poppy Parade, Real Red and Cherry Cobbler, and also Coastal Cabana and Bermuda Bay, and stuck it down onto a piece of Cherry Cobbler cardstock. This one I just used Bermuda Bay and Coastal Cabana and stuck it onto a Bermuda Bay piece of card. So now we are into the one sheet wonder territory. So I stamped a whole sheet of cardstock, and this is what we got from it. Got a whole, this is a quarter of it, so that's one whole card. So this kind of just goes to show you that you can do this technique. These two techniques are kind of interchangeable, really. There's a Z fold, and that's stuck onto Coastal Cabana. That's stuck onto Granny Apple. That's on Coastal Cabana. Did that Z fold. This piece is just a framed piece onto white, but got Coastal Cabana around it. Then this is a large slim line. I guess you could have it that way if you wanted to, with extra pizzazz and bling, more is more, make it fun and all that. And then this one is not as elaborate, slim line as well. So is that the 10? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Woohoo! Right, I'm going to have to get better, one up every time. Right, what a night. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. And oh, sorry, the colours I used on that stamped one sheet wonder were Daffodil Delight, Granny Apple Green, Coastal Cabana, Bermuda Bay, Flirty Flamingo, Real Red, Poppy Parade, and that's it. Yeah, that's it. And then Coastal Cabana and Bermuda Bay for the flower, Granny Apple Green for the leaves. Real Red ribbon. This is gorgeous, this stuff. I'm not sure if it's in the mini catalogue. I think I may have bought that when it was in the last year's mini. So I'm not sure if it's still available, but it's very nice. Very nice ribbon. Thank you, everybody. Yes, 11 cards in one sitting. So yeah, that was a bit of a marathon, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it goes to show that, what you can do with just inks and stamps. That is what Stampin' Up is about. That is our main focus as a company, royal we. But you know, I'm speaking as a demonstrator. That is always what we come back to: stamps and ink, stamps and ink, stamps and ink, and good paper, good quality paper. Obviously the punches, the ribbon, the embellishments, those are all fabulous too. But ultimately, stamps and ink are our bread and butter, and that is what I love showing people how to use. So thank you, Vanessa. Please do that. Also, if you're interested in classes, I have got a wreath class coming up on the 1st of March at 7 p.m. my time, on the 2nd of March 10 a.m. my time. So those of you guys who are in the South Pacific, it's a fantastic time for you guys. It's the evening. The ribbon's not available. Thank you, Cheryl. Okay, so sorry about that. This ribbon's not available anymore, but there's plenty of other lovely stuff. Also, I've got the junk journal event. Just a little sneaky peeky of what that is. So it's my style junk journaling. I know there's lots of other types of junk journaling out there, but it's Ruth style junk journaling. I will show you how to construct one of these. Okay, so it's a whole weekend event. It's Friday evening to Saturday. Again, it's to kind of catch you guys from all over the world, really. So if you want information, please do head to artfulstampin.blogspot.com, and there's information on there. Okay, and you just need to email me if you want to book a place. So thank you so much, you new guys who have joined in this evening. It's been absolutely lovely to get to know you, and I hope you all come again. And see you all soon. Have a fabulous weekend. And yeah, God willing, catch up with you Monday. Stay safe, everybody, and take care. Lots of love to those of you who are experiencing difficulties at this time. Lots of love and big hugs to you. God bless. Good night.